Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Art of MMA. Of course, on Fighters First, FightersFirst.shop, the network. You find all of our great shows, this show, Cage My IQ, and of course, the brand new show, Unfiltered. I'm Mike Ginn, joined as always by my co-host, the mechanic, Brandon Cuttino. Brandon, what's up, buddy?
It's good, man. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Time to talk some fights.
I thought they were talking about you this weekend. I saw your name trending, but they were talking about the movie, not you. It was the other Blade, not you. Sorry. Not much going on this week. Of course, we will talk about the results from last week. Brandon's all hyped up from Glory 78. Of course, we had the UFC event. Derek Brunson just straight up beat up Darren Till. So we'll talk about that. Not much going on other than that because there are no fights coming out this week. I guess the whole entire MMA world said, hey, we're taking off the week after Labor Day. So that's happening. So no UFC, no ONE, no PFL, no Bellator, nothing for the major events. There's some regional action, of course, but no major events coming up this weekend. So we'll just talk about results, and we will talk about the news. Hell, Brandon, I'm not even mad enough to have a rant this week because we're coming off a holiday weekend. So the fans at home are spared for me spilling my guts for 15 minutes. So be a nice, quick episode for everybody, and you'll just have to be entertained by Brandon just talking mad shit to me the entire episode. Of course, like I mentioned, the show brought to you by Fighters First. I'm rocking the Art of MMA. Brandon's got that Talk Less, Fight More shirt that everybody loves. So head over to the shop. A couple things going on. You see the splash on your page. So make sure you check out the shop, FightersFirst.shop. You can get all of our merch. Help support the show. All that money goes to making a better product. So that said, before we do get into the news this week, I do want to announce a couple things. First and foremost, you'll notice if you go to the shop, this afternoon, the legendary tees are not there. And despite what people want to say on the internet, no, they did not get pulled for copyright and trademark reasons. I would have pulled them immediately if that was the case. But I let everybody know it was coming. The reason they're not there is because I'm getting ready to roll out all brand new ones. And I kind of wanted to have like a little bit of gap and kind of lead up to like, hey, boom, here's some brand new merch. Doing all new styles and really cool, different legendary stuff. If we're being perfectly honest, sales went up and down with the old design. So I wanted to spike it and get something new. But that leads us to something very important, Brandon. We're almost there. In 2 weeks, Brandon and I celebrate 1 year together. He hasn't killed me yet. I'm still here. Maybe it's because I'm like 1,200 miles away. But I'm safe down here in Tampa, Florida. He's actually getting hit by more hurricanes than I have. But September 22nd, not only is it our 1 year anniversary, it's also our 50th episode. So we're going to be rolling out not one, not two, but 10 new legendary shirts from all over combat sports, MMA, boxing, wrestling. I got a couple kickboxing ones in mind. So we're going to roll out all of those. I'm trying to do something really special too as well. So we'll see about that. And then next week, I need you guys involved, guys and girls at home involved, because we're going to be doing a giveaway for our 22nd episode on the 22nd, our 50th anniversary, our 50th episode, and our 1 year anniversary, and giving away 3 T-shirts to people that leave comments and stuff on our episode for next week. So make sure you tune in next week when we come back, make our picks and everything for the week ahead, and talk all that shit that we talk. Because if you leave a comment in that episode and on our Instagram and on everywhere else that we say, and I'll announce all that stuff on social media so you guys don't have to really follow what I'm saying right now. Going to give away 3 shirts at random from those comments, and we're going to announce that on our anniversary show to who the winners are. So make sure you pay attention to all that. We'll reach out and contact you and get you a shirt. So, and sorry, Brandon, you're not eligible because you're on the show.
All right.
And neither is your wife. And
Okay.
my wife's mad too. She's like, I don't know you. I'm not married to you. I don't know. Whatever. It's like she's trying to divorce me just so she can win a shirt. So that said, let's get to the show. All right, Brandon, you ready?
Yes, sir.
In the news this week, well, it's kind of funny because I was about to announce that Oscar De La Hoya had pulled out of the Vitor Belfort fight. He has COVID-19. Wish Oscar a speedy recovery so he can get back to whatever exhibition or semi-professional fight that he wants to get to come out of retirement. And we thought the whole event was off for 9/11. In comes Evander Holyfield, who's been itching for a fight. Him and Vitor didn't really have a problem with coming up in weight or whatever. I guess Vitor was like, cool, I don't have to cut weight now. So I'm not really sure what weight they agreed to. It will be a heavyweight bout. Belfort versus Holyfield on September 11th. They're calling it the Legends 2 event. They're also in talks with a number of other legends going on for Triller. So it's going to be a Triller event, 9/11. Evander Holyfield now in to fight Vitor Belfort. Before we move on, do you have any like interest in that? Because like Evander Holyfield, like he didn't look so great like 11 years ago, but he does look in great. He does look in great shape now.
Yeah, I mean, Evander Holyfield was one of my favorite boxers growing up. But to be honest with you, on this card, the fight that I'm really looking forward to is Anderson Silva, Merck, and Tito Ortiz. If I'm watching anything on that card, that's really what I'm looking for, is that co-main.
Yeah, I'm honestly hoping that fight happens, though, because Tito's talking so many reasons of why he can't do this and why he's mad at Anderson for having to cut weight to this. And I got a bad feeling that Tito's going to pull out. I just got a bad feeling. So we'll see. Wouldn't be the first time. We're going to talk about the Glory 78 results later, and, of course, Alex Pereira. But the big news coming out last week, Alex Pereira is now signed to the UFC. As soon as that event ended in Glory, they went and put ink to paper. Alex Pereira will be making his UFC debut at that epic New York card. Of course, people know Alex Pereira from his time as a dual champ in Glory. They also know him, the guy who knocked out Adesanya in kickboxing. So we've seen Alex Pereira kind of dip his toe into MMA before. Last year he did it. He was dominant, but that was a regional scene. So we'll see what Alex Pereira can do on the big stage, in the grandest stage of them all, New York City on November 6th. He's going to be matched up against Andres Michailidis at middleweight. So we'll see at UFC 268 what he does in the MMA world on a grand stage. But Brandon, that's not all. You know the news before I knew the news. Your boy Shane Burgos back in action. Of course, Brandon's teammate over at Tiger Schulman's. He's going to be fighting Billy Cuttino, in his featherweight division at UFC 268, adding more to the epic card. Both those guys like to come and bring it. So I'm expecting another war in that one. Of course, it's a Shane Burgos fight. It's got to be a war. It can't be nothing simple. I mean, I'm sure Shane would love to go in once and just knock somebody out and walk out of the cage, but he just gets stuck in these matchups where he's just like going toe-to-toe for like the whole distance of the fight. Segue, and also Brandon's teammate Mike Trezano, he's got a fight. He's back in the cage on October 9th against Chaz Skelly. So that'll be a fun fight. And then another last bit of fight news, Jamal Hill, famously, Paul Craig fight. Not only did he get stopped, but his arm completely came out of socket. His elbow came in dislocated. Thankfully, there wasn't severe damage. They were able to pop it back in, and he needed some time to recover. Well, they originally supposed to fight him and Jimmy Crute in October 2nd. They have moved that back to December 4th in Vegas. So we'll have to wait till December to see those two go at it. And then last night, 2 new contracts, 2 new UFC fighters. Carlos Figueroa with a vicious knee to the liver earned his way on Dana White's Contender Series. And Josh Keelan with some really nice sharp elbows on the ground got that done. So they both got contracts for the UFC, so we'll see them in action again real soon. Now, Brandon, I told you I'm inching up the ladder. You went 2-1 last week. That's not bad. Your percentage points went up too. But I went 3-0. And the pick I won was against you. So not only did I win, I knocked you off in the process of winning. So now I moved up. You're only like ahead of me by 1 loss in the loss column. The wins shouldn't even count because I had so many fights canceled like last year or this last like current year. But like the fact that we have like a 4-fight difference is ridiculous because that's how many fights are like. Was it like a good like 5 weeks? I had like 4 fights canceled or something like that. Mm-hmm. Or 3 fights canceled and 1 was a no contest or something like that. I don't remember what fight it was, but there was one that like ended in a no contest, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it was Andre Feely. He was winning, and they ruled it because of the cut or headbutt, something like that."
Yep.
I was like, "God damn it!" I just keep losing like that was going to be a win too. He was cruising, so not happy about that. We're going to talk about some results, folks at home. We're not going to get deep into this. I'm just going to go over it real quick because it was pretty big. Epic event for one championship. They finally got their Empower event that was supposed to happen a while back. They finally had it last weekend. They have a new strawweight champion, Ginn Zhang. She beat Michelle Nicolini by unanimous decision. And then they had a bunch of their quarterfinals. So I guess they're going to have an Empower 2 event to kind of continue this into the semis. But Seo Hee-ham beat Zambogana. Fairtex beat Rasa Haina.
Say, man, Stan Fairtex is no joke, man. Girl is good.
She is. Rito Fagat finally got her way into the tournament. She beat Bo Meng. And then Hirata beat Anderson as well by decision. The first two were split decisions, so they were a little bit closer fights. And then they had some other events going on, including kickboxing, which saw Anissa Mexen beat Christina Morales. So cool stuff.
Wait, I was going to say, just to talk about Anissa Mexen for a second, that girl has been signed to one for I want to say close to almost 2 years. They haven't been able to get her a fight. She's been calling people out left and right. She was even calling out Janet Todd, but things like Janet Todd fights at 105, while she usually fights at 122. But looking at her, because she's been living in Thailand, it seems like maybe she could be slimming her body down. So maybe her and Janet Todd can maybe meet in the middle, at a 115 or 110, something like that.
That'd be a fun fight.
And Anissa Mexen is so good. She probably is the best female kickboxer out there. If it's not her, then it's Jarena Bears as well.
It'll be a fun fight. I saw Janet Todd fight not too long ago. She was awesome. So we'll see. They did have a Muay Thai fight as well. Jackie Bunton and Daniela Lopez as well. And since I'm going ahead and sending all the results, Mezabari beat Yamaguchi as well in the Atomweight Grand Prix Reserve fight. That is one. Like I said, we're not getting too deep into that. I just wanted to mention that. The card that we're really going to talk about, Glory 78, Mr. Glory.
It was good. Real good.
Man, he missed all the action. He was glued to Glory that whole night, man. But it's good because he's going to talk to you guys about it 100%. Glory, actually, I did get to see quite a bit of it. I went back and watched it because I saw all the talk about what happened. Obviously, the main event. We'll jump right into it. Wrzosek? Did I say it right?
Wrzosek. Just Wrzosek.
Just Wrzosek? Okay. Wrzosek, obviously, with the big knockout over Badr Hari. Badr Hari was dominating the fight. Wrzosek came from behind, got the epic knockout. What happened in that fight, Brandon?
Man, first off, I just got to say, man, dude, events like this.
What happened to your boy?
Events like this makes me be like, why are people not watching kickboxing, man? It was just high-level action, plenty of knockouts, plenty of stoppages, and it was just beautiful violence, and people don't talk about it enough. But going on to the main event, which was not my boy. I see you trying to slip it in. Not my boy. I like Badr Hari, respect him. He's a legend, but he's not. He's good, but he's not there for me. But nah, man, like you said, dude, Badr Hari, man, was dominating this fight, man. Body shots for days, man. Found that liver, got him, knocked him down 2 times in the first round, knocked him down again in the second. Needed one more knockdown because in Glory you knock him down 4 times. The fight's over. Or if it's 3 times in 1 round. So you had him done, went for the kill. My man just flicked out a snap round kick, caught Badr in the temple. It was timber, baby. He fell down like a tree. He didn't know where he was. Fight was over, man. That right there was comeback of the year for sure. Might be the best comeback of all time in kickboxing. It was just bananas.
Yeah, it made the highlights, and not just the kickboxing world. I mean, everybody in combat sports was like, oh, my God. It was all over Twitter, all over social media. Your boy, and I will point this out. Not only is it your boy, because last week when we were talking about this card, you didn't talk about Alex Pereira and Vakhitov talking about. That's why I got you on the show, so you can say his name right, Vakhitov. You didn't talk about that. No, you talked about Badr Hari's going to be in the card. That's the only name you said.
Because it was about Hari paper. It was about Hari card. It was the main event.
That's your boy. Anyway, I saw the highlights. I thought that was a crazy. I saw him getting his ass kicked, and then all of a sudden, yeah, Badr Hardy's a bloody mess on the canvas. Not just that he knocked him out, he cut him open with that kick too. It was crazy. Speaking of Alex Pereira, though, everybody was talking going into this fight. He's got his way to the UFC. As soon as this fight's over, he's going to sign with the UFC. The same guy he beat to become a 2-division champion, Artem Vahitov.
Yeah.
Yes, did it. Vahitov. Well, it didn't go so well for Alex Pereira in his last Glory fight. Tell everybody what happened with that one and how he lost a majority decision to Vahitov.
Yeah, man, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I mean, we're gonna go down with this card, but like, yo, the judging was all over the place, and for this whole card, I don't know what these judges were watching. Some of them, what they were doing, what they were hearing. It was all over the place. But
you think Alex Pereira got screwed?
Oh no. He definitely lost this fight. He definitely took the L for sure on this fight. Nah, but my thing with Alex Pereira was, man, he kind of didn't really seem like himself, you know, like he kind of like, I mean, I don't know if it could have been, you know, 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door, because he knew this was his last fight. You know, I mean, he was throwing shots, but it didn't seem like he was really kind of going for the kill, or like if he was, it was just like on the first round. Because in my scorecard, I had him winning the first round, but then after that, man, it was just all Vahitov. Vahitov controlled him with the boxing. Did real well with the combos. Alex Pereira was really just coming back with just one punch. You know, he was throwing that left hook. You know, trying to get that kill shot, but it just wasn't really working for him. You know, it seemed like he was loose. He was kind of just in there, just having some fun. Like, he knows, hey man, you know, this is my last kickboxing fight. Let me just kind of have some fun, try some things, be a little silly. But like, say it was just but Vahitov was, you know, he was coming for that belt. And I kind of thought that he was going to win this fight, and I was right. So, but, you know, we didn't make any picks in Glory, though. You know, you definitely would have lost then.
You didn't even mention it until we already go off the air. But like you mentioned, though, do you think it was a case of Alex looking past Artem and looking towards UFC?
I don't know, man. Like, to be honest with you, I really don't know. Like, I mean, to me, like, he's still a professional. Like, to me, like, the guy likes to fight. You know, he likes to throw down. You know, he likes to put on the show for the fans. And that's what I kind of think he was doing. But I mean, just his game plan just wasn't working. Like, I mean, you know, Vahitov was really switching things up, you know, switching his stance, went southpaw a little bit, was orthodox, but I say he really was getting his hands going. He was throwing his kicks. And then basically, like, Pereira was kind of jamming himself up, because then he would like maybe try to throw a punch, but then he would get close to Vahitov, and they would kind of be a little like clinch. But they wouldn't throw anything, like they would never fight out of the clinch. And which, because what I was talking about with the reffing and judging being all over, is because the one ref had took a point from Pereira, but Pereira really wasn't the one to me holding. To me, it was Vahitov. But you know, I'm not a ref or a judge.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that left hook, because that's basically what he used to win his MMA fight last year. Yeah. It makes me wonder if he's been doing more MMA training than he has been kickboxing. And maybe that might have something to do with it.
Nah, I mean, I know he's been hanging out with Glover Teixeira. Glover was with him for this fight. He was in his corner. So I think that's who he goes to trains with. You know, for his MMA.
Yeah,
that's so I think. Camp. Yeah. You know, so I think he'll be well. And like I said, and like I think Pereira's been helping Glover. With his stand up as well. But now, man, like, I mean, dude, like, this is what I'm trying to say, dude. Like, this is high level stuff, man. Like, Vahitov is no slouch. You know, he don't get knocked out like other dudes. They do, but you know, like saying like Vahitov, he's no scrub. You know, he was the longest reigning, you know, light heavyweight champion, you know, for a while. Like there's a reason why he was champion. You know, so I mean, like say, you know, the first fight. It went to decision. I wasn't surprised that this one was going to go to a decision as well.
Kind of sweet revenge for Vahitov. You know, last chance to get at Alex Pereira before he walks off. So he got that win and sent him off with a loss. So
like WWE says, is what's best for business. That Vahitov got the belt, man.
Now you're gonna have people at home thinking that Pereira did the job. that it was fixed. Good job, Brandon. Way to throw that in there. Now everybody's gonna think the fight was fixed. Good job.
This was best for business.
You're gonna have a phone call from Glory in about 3 seconds. It'll be like, what? Elsewhere on that card, I'm gonna butcher most of these names. Brandon's the expert talking about a lot of these guys. Plazibot got the win over Cababez.
Just call him Tank, man. Just call him Tank.
Tank got that knockout in the second round. Anything special about that one? How did you get that knockout?
Nah, yo, to me, Ablaza is the next guy to probably challenge for the title after Overeem if they really want to give him a shot. I mean, he came into this thing, man, like Tank. Tank got a name for himself because in his last fight, he actually fought against Rico. When they did the 4-man title. I'm sorry, the 4-man tournament.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, like it was good. Like I said, man, dude, to me, it's like when people talk about heavyweights in MMA and like, oh, how man, it could be really good or it could be really bad, dude. In kickboxing and Glory, especially, dude, heavyweights are always good. It's never a bad one, man. These guys come to bang and they just let the hands and the kicks go. It was a good fight.
There's always something special, like you said, boxing, kickboxing. Always something special when the heavyweights don't got to worry about being taken down or anything. It's just they're letting it fly.
Yeah.
So Plazibot got the win in that one. Kind of surprising. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was an upset for Raiders to get the win over Tomas Mosney.
Mosey? Not for me, man. Rickers is good, dude. Like the dude when
TKO via leg strikes.
Yeah. When he signed up for Glory, dude was undefeated. Then he won his first 4-man tournament when he came to Glory right off the bat. Then they put him in another tournament, which I was kind of like, oh man, maybe you should chill on it. But he wanted to jump in there. He actually fought Tank. He lost to Tank, which I kind of still thought he won, but it was a close fight. And he just bounced back. So I'm saying the guy only has 1 loss on his record. I kind of like say I like Mosney, but I kind of thought he was gonna take the L anyway. And dude, right off the bat, man, in that first round, Rickers hit him with like 6 leg kicks in like 45 seconds before Mosney even threw 1 punch and his leg was already done. Like he already did the damage and it was just a wrap, man.
For the rest of these fights, I'm kind of going to breeze through. Brandon, stop me if you want to bring something up or talk about something. Luis Tavares versus Felipe Micheletti over unanimous decision.
Yeah, boom. This one, guys, got to talk about this one because
Tavares stop me that quickly. Jesus.
Yeah, nah, man, because I knew this fight was going to be next. Tavares most likely will be next for Vahitov after this fight. Crazy thing enough is actually those two, I want to say, fought at Glory 9 in New York. I was actually there for that fight. I think Tavares he got stopped.
Tyrone Spong event?
Yep. Tyrone Spong was on that card too as well.
We had Anthony Gathers took photos for us for that event on Art of MMA back in the day. So
gotcha. Yeah, but I mean Tavares, man, looked great. This fight, man, his boxing was on point. Looked real smooth. Probably his best boxing ever since coming back to Glory. I mean, shout outs to his opponent. He did take the fight on a short notice. Like I said, this was a rematch because they had fought before, and Tavares didn't win that time, but this time he did win. Like I said, he looked good. I mean, hey, he was in his hometown, so I mean, he definitely brought the energy. But I mean, it was a good fight for Tavares. I'm looking forward to probably those guys maybe getting it down. Not the next show, but maybe the following show.
Let's see if Brandon stops me after this next one. Maybe just to help me pronounce this. Nordine Medidine defeated Raul Cuttino.
Yes.
By unanimous decision. I get my results from Combat Press. We love Combat Press, but sometimes they do put the proper pronunciation, like, asterisks and letter like changing and stuff like that. And I'm just like, wait, how do they mean that? Muhammad Hamicha Mezazori defeated Vedat Haduk by TKO. Body shot in the first round.
Yep. Gotta talk about this one, man.
This episode was supposed to be like 30 minutes. It's gonna be like an hour and a half now.
Hamcha, bro, dude is a straight savage. Every fight he's had so far in Glory, first round finish. Like, I mean, we were talking about Alex Pereira dropping fools. Hamcha's, man, the next guy, but he's doing it in the welterweight class. Again, Hamcha's opponent, shout outs to him. He actually beat Hamcha earlier in his career, so it was a rematch. But also too, though, he took this fight on short notice as well. So kudos to him, man. But Hamcha, man, he's that next dude. Him, Doumbé, they got to get it on for the title, man. But I mean, I like body shots in fights. I keep telling people all the time, man, they got to see these things. Body shots, dropping fools.
Shit, you take out the body, you take out the head. I knew you were probably gonna stop me on this next one. Donovan Weiss, Yorsi versus Belgori. Weiss got the TKO by the doctor stoppage. Why did the doctor stop this one? It was for the middlegeweight title. Tell me what happened in this one.
Yeah. So again, another rematch. These guys fought before. Wisa won. This time, man, Bulgari. Like, hey, I'm a big fan of Bulgari. I met him at Glory 55 when he took on Alex Pereira. So I actually got to meet him. Cool guy, real nice. But that's another story. But coming to this fight, man, Wisa was just on him. Bulgari was trying to do some head movement, and Wisa just timed it properly. We saw where his head was going. Boom, he came up with a knee right up. He caught him with a knee, and that's what sliced him open. But it really wasn't a doctor stoppage, because then as he was bleeding, I think Wisa came up. I think hit him with a right hand, and he dropped him. So yeah, like that's how that fight ended. I don't know why they said doctor stoppage, because he got stopped.
I don't know. Maybe he tried to continue. The doctor didn't let him. Yeah. I'm not really sure. I saw the highlight of it, but I didn't really see like why it was called a doctor stoppage. Bastati beat Gashi by unanimous decision. Gershon over Billet. It was ruled a split draw. Maybe is that what you're talking about with some of the judging? Yeah, like also too. That's another one where I don't know, like, because back in the day, what Glory was, there was no draws. If it was a draw, they would go to a fourth round. But I know that they left the people that used to judge them, which was ISKA, they're not with them anymore. Now what they're using is Waco. So I don't know if those are Waco rules or what. But yeah, I was kind of shocked. But I still thought Belay won that fight anyway. But either way, man, my eyes were on that fight because I've always kind of had my eye on Belay. He's a Frenchman. I think he's good. I wouldn't mind stepping in the ring with him, just putting it out there, in case Glory's watching this. There it is.
Man, my passport is ready, baby. It's good to go till next year, till I got to get a new one. So, hey, man, you need me to travel, I'm ready, man. Belay, I dig you, man. Yo, he's top 10, man. Yo, I'm trying to get ranked. All right? I'll fight him. I got no problem.
There it is. There's the call out. Just put it out. I want to talk about this fight. There it is. Listening. No, it was a good fight, man. Gershon, man, does his thing. I've actually, he too have fought at Glory 55 as well. I mean, to me, I think Belay won the first round. I think Gershon won the second round, but I just thought Belay did more in the third round to win it. Man, he had good combinations. He was kind of really smothering Gershon, because I think Gershon he's kind of known for some spinning kicks, fancy kicks, but I think Belay kind of smothered him to where he couldn't really throw his kicks. He tried to really box with Belay, but I think Belay, he just had the better hands. But hey, just throwing it out there, you know what I'm saying, Glory, you need somebody for Belay. I'm your guy. I will 79. Belay versus Cuttino. There you go. He's ready to hop on a plane tomorrow. There you go. You talk about itching for a fight, man. This dude's been itching for a fight as long as we've been doing this show. Everything keeps falling through. Somebody fight this man, mainly so he can stop being so irritable in the show. Let him get it out of his system. I'm just kidding. Y'all keep thinking he's the good guy. He's not. Last fight, Hendorf beat Robson by TKO once again via body shot in the third round.
Yeah, man. Like I said, dude, that was a good fight. The only thing is, man, the guy that lost the fight, he actually was another. He's one of Alex Pereira's guys. He actually, man, Pereira kind of put it on him, and he basically kind of said like, "Yo, this is this is the mini me of himself. So he kind of maybe put a little pressure out on him. But I mean, it was a good fight. But I think he got tired, because I think he maybe took this fight on short notice as well. And then boom, man, he just got dropped, man, to the body.
Yeah, normally we wouldn't talk about a whole card like that. It is special times. Like I said, not much action going this week, so we stretched it out a little bit.
It was a good card, people. Watch it. Kickboxing where it's at. You guys want to see stand-up all the time, this is the place to be. And high-level technical stand-up. Beautiful violence, man. Beautiful violence.
Honestly, I just put this card on our rundown today just to get Brandon animated. Normally on Wellness Wednesday, Brandon's like a zombie for the first half of the show until I say something either stupid or funny, and then he kind of comes out of his shell. Today, I got him amped up for you guys. I got him ready to go. I might have to do some editing with some of those names and other things I said during that segment. But that said, that is Glory 78. Of course, they got their big event coming with Overeem making his return coming up soon. So we will be talking about Glory eventually soon. We're still trying to actually work on getting Brandon his own kickboxing show. So we'll see what's going on with that. Give some people a call and see if we can make that happen at some point. All right, Brandon, that wasn't the only card that weekend. And I'm not talking about AEW All Out. I'm talking about UFC Vegas 36. Supposed to be in London. They moved it back to Vegas for COVID reasons and vaccinations and whole other things we won't get into on this show. But main event, Darren Till versus Derek Brunson. It was supposed to be Darren Till's elevation into the middleweight scene. Obviously, Adesanya was calling him out, looking to fight somebody new. Derek Brunson, though, had other plans. This guy's been on a tear lately. You saw what he did to Kevin Holland. Back in the cage, man. I'll let you break down this fight, too, but I'm just going to really simplify it for everybody at home. Derek Brunson beat up Darren Till. Just for 2.5 rounds. Just beat him up. Now, I will say by the third round, Till had a little bit more sense of urgency. Kind of came out, was getting a little bit better of him in striking. But then once it went to the ground, Till made a mistake. Brunson got his back, and that was a wrap. But after the fight, you could tell one guy had been in the fight, and the other guy just quite honestly looked like he was just getting warmed up and sparring. Brunson's on a tear. What did you think of that fight?
And Derek Brunson, ever since
he picked Till.
I did pick Till. Don't worry, man. It's all good. Maybe it could have been different if the fight was in London, but I was trying to show love to my UK fans over there.
If it makes you feel better, I would have gone 0-2 in Glory because I would have picked Badr and Pereira. So there you go.
But going back to Brunson, man, just the move to Sanford, man. You know me. I've always talked about coaching helps, man. Who you got yourself surrounded with. And like I said, really, ever since he moved over to Sanford, he's been killing it. He's been on his tear. He's been on his run. The reason why I had picked Till was because I kind of really thought that Till would just have that power shot to kind of put him down. But the thing is too, like I kind of didn't think about it until I really thought about more was that really Brunson's last couple of fights, he's actually gotten rocked. But the thing was that he composes himself, he gets back to work, and he does what he's supposed to do. So I mean, like I said, I basically get on you about this sometimes where like we talk about people and you think about how they used to be, and I'm like, oh, but they're different now. And I to Derek Brunson, where I kind of thought he was just that same old guy. He gets punched in the face. He doesn't like it. He crumbles. But no, man, there's a new Derek Brunson, man. He gets rocked. He's still in it. He composes himself and he goes back, does what he's supposed to do. My thing with Darren Till, like I thought Darren Till did well standing up, but the thing is, like, man, he's on like one way jujitsu. Right? What I mean is that the man basically like uses his hands, but he doesn't use his legs as well. Like there was a time where I think Brunson let Darren Till get double underhooks, which had both hands underneath. We all know if you're no jujitsu or even wrestling, man, that's a no-no. You never want anybody to be like that. But the thing was, like, I think he just didn't know that Till wasn't going to do anything with it. So what was he doing? He was framing up on him, hitting his ground and pound on him. from that. But like I say, man, I mean,
it's a tale of two worlds right now. Brunson's on now a 5-fight win streak. Till's lost 4 or 5. The one that he did win was a very questionable split decision to Kelvin Gastelum, which I actually thought Gastelum won. I was actually honestly even shocked that Darren Till got a main event spot at this point. I feel like he has to earn it more. Darren Till had a great run early in his UFC career, and he was rushing to the top. And I think people kind of remember that more than what he's done lately. Now, don't get me wrong. Darren Till's lost to some killers. He's lost to Brunson. He's lost to Whitaker. He's lost to Masvidal. He lost to Woodley. If you look at a resume, those aren't bad losses, especially in the last couple years. Maybe the Woodley loss. But the rest of them, I mean, what do you say, right? Like, those are decent losses. Whitaker, former champ. Masvidal at one point was baptizing everybody until he ran into Usman. So it is what it is. But Brunson's now beat Darren Till, Kevin Holland, Shabazian, Heinisch, and Theodorou. God damn, I can't talk today. Theodorou. 5 straight wins, including knocking out Shabazian and now tapping out Till. The guy's on a run. He did lose to his last loss was to Adesanya, but that was back in 2018. We do talk about age a lot. You get on my case. He is 37 now. And it's one of those cases like Uriah Hall, right? Like Uriah Hall couldn't afford a loss because he was trying to get that momentum to build up to a title shot for one last run. The loss that he got all of a sudden knocks him all the way out of the picture. Same thing with Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson loses a fight. He's completely out of the picture now because he's 37 years old. It's kind of hard to build up another 5-fight win streak over a 3-year period at that age. Adesanya, for his part, doesn't want any part of Brunson. He doesn't think it's a worthy challenge. He thinks he'd run right through him. I don't know. Like you said, Brunson's let his chin out there. He's gotten caught. He got caught by Till a little bit in the 3rd round before he grabbed him again and got him back on the ground. Kevin Holland had caught him a couple times while they were standing. Problem is, both Till and Kevin Holland didn't have much ground game. Adesanya has shown in recent fights, especially his last fight after the Jan fight, he came back against Vettori and showed that he did have some takedown defense. So Vittori's not the best takedown artist. He does get takedowns, but it's more sloppy. It's not like, it's more of a trip. It's not like a real like double leg or anything like that. I think Derek Brunson would give Adesanya some fits if he was able to get him down. But you got to get close enough to get him down. And I'm not sure he wouldn't get pieced up on the way in the same way he did the last time they fought, where he got knocked out in the 1st round by knees and punches. So I don't see that rematch going anywhere. Brunson is saying he's willing to wait until Whitaker and Adesanya fight. So it's pretty much we know who's next for Brunson. But Darren Till, I'll tell you what, Brandon. Darren Till, for one, I didn't think he had a chance in this fight from the moment I saw him in the cage. And I don't know if it's because it's the cross-country flight from Florida, because he didn't come from London. He was already in Florida. But from Florida to Vegas, I don't know if he had been up partying too much and done Apollo Costa. But Darren Till did not look like he was awake in that cage. He looked sleepy and sloppy in the 1st round, like in the beginning when they were doing the introductions. Mm-hmm. He didn't look like he was in his best shape. I don't think 185 is his good weight. You said he did last week. You thought that was where he could be. I think he needs to go back to 170. I don't think he has the strength to knock anybody out at 185, and I don't think that his speed advantage is that much of an advantage at that weight, especially with people like Adesanya that are just lighting people up at that kind of speed and rate. I think Darren Till, if he wants any chance, he has to go back to 170 and kind of pick up on some fights there. There's obviously a lot of fighters in that top 10 that are just itching to get at everybody. The Gilbert Burns, the Edwards, the Stephen Thompsons, all those guys want to fight. So there's a lot of fights at 170. I don't think there's any more fights at him at 185. I just think it's a bad matchup. Any more thoughts on that fight before we move on?
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, if he goes to 170, he's got to learn how to do it right, because, man, usually 170 was a struggle for him. Because if you remember his one fight with Stephen Thompson, he missed weight. He couldn't make it at 170. And then I think his last fight at 170, apparently, he went blind weight cutting, which can't happen, because it's just so much. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if he goes to 170, if he goes to 170, like, say, he has to do it right, where he can make it properly and he can actually make the weight and safely. And then also too, though, but he still has to work on his ground game as well. Either way, You know, it doesn't matter if he's 185 or 170. The dude still has to work on his ground game to get himself better. And then just going on with Derek Brunson. To me, the title fight isn't next for Derek Brunson. To me, what's next for Derek Brunson is Jared Cannonier, because to me, Jared Cannonier is ranked 3, while I think Brunson is 4. Because I think what is it? Whitaker's 1 and probably Costa's probably still 2 for some reason, even though Costa hasn't been fighting worth a lick. But to me,
Costa and Vittoria are supposed to fight.
Yeah, but to me though, Cannonier deserves a title shot more than Brunson. But that's why I think those two guys could probably fight it out and get themselves close. I mean, they're both older in age. I think you said Brunson's 37.
They're about the same age, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think Cannonier could be 38. You know,
my only problem with Cannonier is that he's been so up and down. Yeah, he's ranked right above Brunson, but Brunson's more on the hot streak. Brunson's got 5 in a row. Cannonier, I think, has 2 in a row at this point.
Yeah,
1. So it's a little one or 2.
No, because he lost to Whitaker, and then he just fought Gastelum.
Yeah. I just don't think Jared Cannonier deserves a title shot right away when he needs. I think he needs to get a couple wins in a row, personally. Like, that's me. And Brunson, I think, is the hotter.
Adesanya would rather fight Cannonier than Brunson. So just saying that if the champ says he'll take Cannonier, Cannonier will get that title shot.
I think he would, because he thinks it's an easier matchup for him.
I don't think it's easier, man. Like you said, I think he's just like you say, he wants somebody new. Like say he wanted.
He doesn't have to get worried about getting taken down against Cannonier. He can stand and do kickboxing. It could be a kickboxing fight.
I mean, dude, like he fought Whitaker. He didn't have to worry about Whitaker trying to take him down as well, man. I don't think
Whitaker wants any chance in the rematch. He better take him down.
As if he can try to get him down.
I don't think it's going to go any differently than the first time either. So we'll see when we make those picks coming up. Not too far out from now. I mean, I guess we'll see. At this point, they might have fight to 2022 at this point. I don't know. That Whitaker Adesanya rematch has been cursed for almost a year now. We've been talking about it since the beginning of the year, since Whitaker won, and I don't know. It's just not happening. Scheduling, whatever the case is, there's a million reasons why that fight's not happening. Brunson in the cage, he said he's willing to wait. So if he's willing to wait, then we're not going to see a Cannonier fight. It's going to be, even if he has to wait till after that. One thing people also didn't know coming into this fight is Derek Brunson almost pulled out of this fight. He actually thought he broke his ribs like 3 weeks ago. He had an injured rib coming into this fight. So it was serious enough for him to think about pulling out of this fight. So for him to even do what he did, dominating like that, he didn't even spar or train pretty much the last 3 weeks going into the fight. So more props to Derek Brunson for toughing that one out. Like I said, Darren Till just didn't look like he wanted to be in there. He did not look like he wanted to be in there. And you're talking about the weight cutting issues. That goes to a training camp too. Like, you hope Sanford would have fixed those issues, but he still came in the cage looking a little bit sloppy. So he didn't look energized the first couple rounds. He had a little bit spurt in the third round, and then that was it. So I don't know what the future for Darren Till is. Honestly, I think he needs to take some time off, get his body right, get his mind right, and then maybe come back and attack the cage. Because at this point, Darren Till doesn't really have much matched up. He's only 28 years old, so he's got plenty of time. Do like Masvidal did. Take like a year off. Get your shit right, and then come back as a killer. Because right now he needs to find that magic again, and he doesn't have it. Co-main event is not as much to talk about, folks, because Tom Aspinall continues to dominate. He won via TKO over Spivak in the first round, completely dominated him. Spivak in like the first couple minutes was kind of like they were like pacing each other a little bit. But then once Aspinall turned on the heat and got him close range, it was all over. Elbows and punches, and just obliterated him up against the cage. Any thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, man, just Aspinall, man's a beast, man. Like I said, the dude's good, man. Like I say, he changed levels up. He got the finish, controlled them in the clinch. I mean, just it was just a wrap for him, man. He's just ready to go.
I'm surprised he's not ranked higher at this point. Like, I know there's a row of killers in front of him at the heavyweight division, but even this fight only moved him up to a number 11. I think the best matchup I could see coming would be him and like Dawkins. Like, we talk a lot about Cyril Gane, how well he moves. And then I mentioned, I think even Dawkins moves better than Gane. Aspinall moves great. I think that would be a fun, like, we don't say the word athletic very often when it comes to some of these heavyweights. But I think that would be a fun athletic fight. and they're right next to each other in the rankings. So him and Dawkins would be a great fight. Who do you think would be a good matchup for Aspinall?
No, I think that would be a good fight, but I think Dawkins does have a fight coming up. Isn't he like scheduled?
Well, his last fight got pushed back / canceled.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that actually got rescheduled. I have not heard. He's another guy. I wasn't surprised if they slipped on that New York card the way they're kind of doing everything.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I mean, I just know, I know Aspinall is not in a rush to get to the top. Like top 5, guys. Like he knows he still has things he needs to work on or wants to work on. So I mean, I think he's cool with like being, with being like a Sean O'Malley and just fighting like unranked guys, for a while.
Yeah, he's currently scheduled. Dawkins is currently scheduled for UFC 266 on the 25th of this month against Abdurakhimov. But that fight's already been pushed back once, so hopefully they're ready to go this time and they do battle it out. But once again, he's fighting within a matter of weeks of Aspinall, so could be a matchup not too long, 3-4 months from now. So both agree on that one a little bit. Spivak's kind of tough. He's won some tough matchups, but he's not a name opponent. He's not somebody people are calling out to see. So I could see him matching up with any like lower end top 15 guy or some of the up and coming heavyweights to continue kind of elevating his status just a little bit. Sergey Pavlovich, who was originally supposed to take this fight, I believe.
Yeah.
That might be a matchup. Maybe the two of them can match up towards the end of the UFC heavyweight rankings. On the rest of the card, we'll run it down. Once again, if Brandon has something he wants to talk about, we will talk about. But we will hop into our picks first. Before I talk about my pick, which is probably the steal of the show, let's talk about yours. Molly McCann, she got the win over Kim, unanimous decision. It was a close fight, close back and forth fight. What did you think of that fight?
And to me, I just thought, I kind of thought it would be like a stand-up fight, which it mostly really was. There was a little bit on the ground, but really not too much. But to me, I think the only thing I was a little bit surprised was I just felt like Molly McCann just straight bullied Kim. She just kept on going forward, kept her up against the cage, and was just throwing. I think Kim was just overwhelmed by McCann's output, and her just kept going forward. The first round, McCann, I felt like McCann came out too hot because by what she did was I think she got close and she threw a punch. Kim moved, but then they had hit heads and that had dropped her on the ground, and Kim had kind of pounced on her, but she was able to survive and get back up. But I'm saying, you go out too aggressive, you could get caught with something silly. But McCann, did what she had to do, and she just kept on coming forward. It was a good fight to me.
She's in a tough situation because she's in that loaded 125-pound division with so many veterans at the top of that division, the JoJo Calderones, the Lauren Murphys, and at the bottom division, all the up-and-comers, the Miranda Mavericks, the Macy Barbers, the Montana De La Rosas. So she's not even ranked yet. There's a bunch of fun fights there for her, so maybe she can match up somebody soon. Maverick's looking for an opponent, so maybe that's something they can do in the future. Obviously, Barber and De La Rosa are already matched up against each other coming up soon. So that 125-pound division, obviously dominated by Valentina. But there's a lot of good young and up-and-coming fighters. I just don't know if they'll make it by the time Valentina's done fighting because I don't think she has much more to prove except for Amanda Nunes, and that's it. My pick, Paddy the Baddy, came in. He saw, he conquered, he destroyed, and he let everybody in the entire arena and the entire state of Las Vegas, or Nevada, entire city of Las Vegas, hell, probably the entire Western Hemisphere know that he won that fight. It wasn't easy. He didn't clean just straight up and run through Luigi. Luigi was tough in the first couple minutes of the fight, but he caught her leg, riled off a big left hand, and then at that point, it was just a flurry. And Paddy the Baddy does what Paddy the Baddy does, and he finished the fight, got the TKO in the first round. Quite honestly, I've been super excited for this guy to come to the UFC for a while. He's turned him down a couple times before. He's been up and down his last few fights in Cage Warriors. It's not like he was a 100% dominant, undefeated fighter coming in. He does lose from time to time, but he's always entertaining. He always brings the heat. He always comes to fight. He never backs out of a fight. You know, a lot of people compare him to Conor McGregor because he was a 2-division champion in Cage Warriors. I think the difference between Paddy and Conor is besides, let me say, we don't know what Paddy's going to turn into because when Conor first came to UFC, he was hungry to keep fighting and always wanted to fight and always wanted something. But I think the hunger that Paddy has is more than the hunger Conor has. Conor has other things going on in his life. And at this point, Paddy Pimblett just straight up wants to fight. So I'm looking forward to a lot of his fights coming up in the UFC. That lightweight division is always loaded with fights, especially in that top 5, top 10. So I don't think he'll get a top 10 guy next. He might have 1 or 2 more fights before that. But he's a former 2-division champion over in Cage Warriors, so he'll move up pretty quickly. And everybody knows those Cage Warrior guys come to fight when they get in the UFC. So that's going to be fun. Elsewhere on the UFC card, before we get out of here, Alex Morano got the win over David Zawada, unanimous decision. The Khalil Roundtree, he got the TKO over Bukakis, but a little bit different situation. Technically, it was a knee injury for Bukakis. So I feel like, I thought Roundtree might finish him anyway, but it's just an unfortunate situation. We already talked about McCann. Jack Shore stays undefeated. He beat Ludwig, another name I'm going to butcher, Shalanine, unanimous decision. The one thing I didn't see, Brandon, Julian Erosa, I didn't think he was going to beat Charles Air Jourdain, but he got the submission in the third round. Your favorite Darce choke. He got that locked in. And then Marc-Andre Barrel versus Dolce, another name I'm not even going to try to say. Unanimous decision victory. One where the scoring was a little weird, 29-28, and then one had 30-27. I did see that one. I didn't think it was 30-27. I thought Dolce won one of those rounds because they were a lot closer than the scorecards make it look. But that is that card. We already talked about what's next for everybody. And Brandon, I think we're done. I mean, there's really nothing else to talk about. We got no fights coming up, no picks for me to keep inching up that ladder and making up my ground, trying to, like the Rocky story, come back and knock off the big bad Ivan Dragoff. That guy. He's the bad guy. I'm the good guy.
Right.
Anyway, a couple things real quick. Remember, we are doing the giveaway. So people that aren't eligible are people that were on this show and our spouses. So I do apologize to the Dan Bakeleys, the Tim Wheatons, Alex Soto, if you're listening, any of those people. Unfortunately, if you're part of our show or part of our crew or Fighters First, I cannot give you a free shirt. I can give you a discount, but that's about it. But we're going to do a giveaway. So make sure you leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of this episode. Pay attention to the next episode. I love that Brandon's video froze with his eyes closed because he looked like he was sleeping. So that was perfect. Yeah, you missed it. Like your video froze for a second and your eyes were like, I was like, oh, cool. Brandon's sleeping through my exit promo. So make sure you go ahead and check out fightersfirst.shop. Get all of our latest merch. Support your boy over there, your favorite Brandon, the Mechanic Cuttino. His splash is on the page right now. You can get all the Mechanic collection. Get it while it's hot. We're also going to be working on, like I said, bringing out new legendary shirts. Got some new shirts. Sometimes I throw shirts up there. If they sell, I keep them. If they don't, they go bye-bye. I'm trying to keep fresh material on Fighters First at all times. Like I said, we got our 1-year anniversary because we actually, thanks to your boy Brandon over there, because we moved our show from Tuesday to Wednesday, our 1-year anniversary and our 50th episode fall on the exact same date, September 22nd. I know he had it planned that way. I know he's looking at his calendar. It's like, if we move it now, by the time we get there, it'll be on the same date. So good job, Brandon. Congrats. You got our 1-year anniversary on exactly our 1-year anniversary. But yeah, so it's been an interesting year. We've went through a lot. We've grown together. Brandon hasn't killed me yet. So we're doing good. Brandon, anything else you want to add this week?
Now then, just, hey, everybody, remember, just please like, subscribe, share with your friends, let them know about the show. All right. Support, write in the comments, man, interact.
You know what? I got a question for you guys at home. Who's your favorite? Pick one, me or Brandon. And you're not allowed to pick our guest over both of us because that's just not cool. And of course, don't forget, next week, NFL kicks off. So we're ready to go and start annoying the crap out of you by talking about the Giants every week. So there you go. And how much we dislike Evan Ingram. And sadly, Sergio's not going to be with us to hype up Evan Ingram, even though there's no way he ever played for the Jets. So. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been another absolutely awesome and epic episode of Art of MMA. I'm your host, Mike Ginn. Of course, Brandon the Mechanic Cuttino. Go shop Brandon's collection. This is Art of MMA, and we'll see you next week. We're out.
Oh my God. This is good shit.